Have you ever been on like a really miserable road trip? You know, you're crammed in the car, the AC is totally busted, and you just realized you missed your exit by 100 miles.
Absolutely. And that is
Uh,
right when the GPS decides to just completely give up on you.
right, exactly. Now hold on to that feeling and picture doing a road trip, but you weigh, I don't know, 40 tons, and you are walking from Spain to Brazil.
Without a map, while the continents are literally splitting apart beneath your feet.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we are looking into a discovery that totally rewrites our map of the prehistoric world. We used to think of South America during the early Cretaceous as this,
This giant locked room mystery, yeah.
right? About 120 million years ago, the South Atlantic was unzipping, separating it from Africa. We thought it was a massive island, completely cut off.
That was definitely the prevailing theory. But then paleontologists dug up this massive new dinosaur in Brazil, Dasosaurus tocantinensis.
And this thing isn't just, a new name for the fossil record. It is the smoking gun that proves that locked room actually had a pretty big back door.
It forces us to rethink everything. We're not just talking about a bone here. We're talking about global biogeography.
So let's look at the beast itself. We are talking about a 20-meter-long animal that is 66 feet of dinosaur just roaming around what is now the Murano state in Brazil.
It was a very hefty animal. It falls into a group called lands.
Which is quite the mouthful, but if you break down the Greek, it literally translates to sponge vertebrae, right?
It does. It refers to the internal structure of their bones. They were filled with these complex air sacs,
Almost like a modern bird.
exactly like a bird,
Yeah.
which made their skeletons much lighter than they looked from the outside. It's a critical adaptation for getting that large without just collapsing.
Okay, so here is where the mystery really deepens. You find a giant sponge spine sauropod in Brazil. You run the phylogenetic analysis to build the family tree. Naturally, you'd expect its closest relatives to be its neighbors.
You'd look for a cousin from Argentina, sure.
But the data said no. When they crunched the numbers, Dasosaurus didn't group with the South American locals at all. Its closest relative is actually Garambatitin moralensis.
Which is found all the way over in Spain.
Spain. It is the ultimate Euro trip. So instead of evolving in isolation, this lineage started in Europe and somehow just walked to South America.
The hypothesis is fascinating.
Yeah.
It implies that sometime between the Valanginian and Aptian ages, these animals migrated south. They most likely utilized land bridges.
Like stepping stones?
Yeah, stepping stones through North Africa and crossed into South America before the continents fully drifted apart.
That is a staggering journey for a herd of 60-foot animals. It completely shatters the idea that South America was a lonely island.
It really does. It shows that the supercontinents of Gondwana and Laurasia were exchanging fauna much, much later than we previously thought.
Reconstructing a migration route across shifting continents just by looking at fossilized bone treats requires some incredible data processing. You really have to find the signal in the noise,
Spotting the patterns everyone else misses is the core of modern paleontology.
which is exactly what our sponsor, Embersilk, helps you do in the modern business world. If you are trying to figure out where artificial intelligence actually fits into your operations...
Instead of just following the hype.
Right. Whether it is AI training, automation, or software development, you need to find those high-impact areas. Embersilk helps you uncover where agents can make the most impact for your business or even your personal life.
It is all about intelligent integration that makes sense for your specific needs.
Absolutely. Check out embersilk.com for all your AI needs. Now, back to our Euro-tripping dinosaur. How can they be so sure this Dasosaurus is related to the Spanish dinosaur and isn't just some weird local titanosaur?
It comes down to highly specific anatomical markers. They essentially found a barcode on the tailbones,
A barcode.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
The caudal vertebrae feature a complex of 3 elongated ridges and a very specific groove. That exact structural configuration is a signature trait it shares directly with Garambatitin.
You just don't see that in the local titanosaurs.
No, you don't. Plus, the femur, the leg bone, has this pronounced lateral bulge. This combination of features means Dasosaurus is classified as a non-titanosaurian sophospondylon.
Meaning it sits on the evolutionary tree just outside the famous titanosaur group.
Right, so the titanosaurs didn't have the continent to themselves. This lineage was coexisting with them, creating a very diverse ecosystem. And the bone histology confirms it was a totally unique animal.
This is the part where they take microscopic slices and read the rings of the bone, right?
So similar concept, yes. They found an external fundamental system that is a layer of bone that only forms when an animal stops growing entirely.
proving this specific fossil was a fully grown adult.
Exactly. But the internal tissue was primary laminar, which is an indicator that it grew extremely fast.
So it had the rapid growth engine of an advanced titanosaur, but it kept some of those more primitive traits from its European ancestors.
It is a beautiful example of evolutionary adaptability.
That is what I find so uplifting about this whole discovery. We always think of continents ripping apart as this destructive, isolating event.
A catastrophic separation.
But life is just so incredibly resilient. Even as the Earth was literally splitting at the seams, these massive animals found a way. They found the corridors to explore new worlds, even as the ocean was opening up.
Life is deeply dynamic. It constantly defies the boundaries we try to set for it. It adapts and finds solutions.
It really is inspiring. So here is a thought to leave you with. If a 20-meter dinosaur could secretly migrate from Spain to Brazil through North Africa, what other impossible journeys are hidden in the fossil record just waiting for the right rock to be turned over?
The map is definitely still being written.
If you enjoyed this deep dive, please subscribe to our show, Intellectually Curious.
And hey, leave us a 5-star review if you can. It really does help get the word out.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay curious.